Just a few weeks back, I broke the news that BMW is bringing the C400 GT, the maxi scooter, to the Indian market. In fact, it's already here. We are here in Pune at Bavaria BMW, and the vehicle's right here. This is the C400 GT, the Euro 5 BS6 edition, whatever you might want to call it. This is the 2021 model. It's come to India in limited quantities. The deliveries are going to begin in December, and like I told you, it's going to be priced between 8 to 10 lakh rupees. That's exactly what BMW has done. This one's priced at 9.95 lakh ex-showroom. So here in Pune, Bavaria tells me that this will be priced at about 11.6 lakh rupees for the black color that you see here. And if you go with the white, that will be about 11.49 lakh rupees. So without further ado, let me show you what this scooter or maxi scooter is all about. But before we do that, quickly subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do hit that like button if you came here to see more about the C400 GT. Let's begin with the key. Like most premium BMW motorcycles, even this one comes with keyless go, which means with the key fob in your pocket, all you need to do is just press this little switch here, and that will bring the vehicle to life. Also, with this key fob, you can have controls for these little storage spaces. So simply pressing this button will reveal the storage space here. Similarly, you have one more little storage space there, and if you see inside, there is also a USB port. There you go. So there is a USB port, two little cubby holes, and these work with this key fob, which means that the moment you walk away from the scooter, these will auto lock. Similarly, this also controls the seat. There's another switch right here at the bottom. So the moment I press that switch, it unlocks the seat. The under seat storage, quite generous. There's also a nice premium strut that they've given. And this is sort of a party piece. So if you can see, this is shaped like a helmet, like a big urban helmet. So this little knob, if I were to press it, you can see that this moved in a little bit. It caved in a little bit. So I can push it down completely. I can put my helmet in here. But if you were to look here, you know, this expansion, it goes down. It comes very close to the rear wheel, which is the reason why when this is down, the vehicle will simply not run. So you can put your helmet in here, and you know, that's another safety feature as well. If your helmet is inside, you wouldn't want to ride without the helmet. So you remove the helmet and pull it back up. That little click tells you it's locked in place, and the moment it's locked in place, then you can ride the motorcycle. To quickly just show you what I was saying, I'll again push this down. You can see on the screen it says that the engine start is not possible. Close the BMW Flex case. So this particular unit is called the Flex case. It will take a helmet. It will essentially give you space for your groceries as well, but you can't ride with the groceries because with this thing down, the engine will not run. But even with this thing up, I think there is enough storage space in here, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. The seat also closes with a nice reassuring thud, very German. Now the rider seat height is set to 775 millimeters. It's not adjustable at all, but I think 775, that's quite low. Most riders will find this quite welcoming. The seat cushioning, slightly on the firmer side. Of course, it's a GT, so long distance touring is possible on this scooter. 12.8 liter tank as well, so a decent touring range should also be possible. The reserve is about 3 liters. What is going to be a little bit cumbersome is this big tunnel that you see here. So getting astride this scooter is going to be a bit of a task, but not something that I would really complain about. It is just a matter of getting used to. Did I call it a tunnel console? I don't know. Did I call it a transmission tunnel? I don't know. I think it's all car lingo that is coming here. Anyway, so it also has the fuel filler cap. This also is keyless. So you have to turn off the ignition and then this opens. For now it's not opening. Oh yeah, it did. The key has to be close to the fuel filler and that is where the fuel goes. So refueling is not difficult either. This is all coming from BMW's more expensive motorcycles and I quite like it. If at all the battery runs out and if the key fob is not working for you and you still want to remove the seat, so there is a manual override that you will see right at the bottom here. So there is a conventional keyhole that you can use to open the seat. And similarly, most BMWs or all BMWs that come with this key fob also have what we like to call a wallet key, something that you keep in your wallet, and that's your backup. So usually with the other BMW motorcycles, this interfaces right over it interfaces with the ECU, so it's right over the rear wheel. But with the scooter, this is where you will put it and then you will start the scooter and that's your backup. Moving on to the TFT screen, this is the same 6.5-inch screen that you also get on the other BMWs if I'm not wrong. Similar thing is what I have on the 1250 GS as well. Now what we are going to concentrate on is the different menus, the different layouts. So what you see on the screen is very simple to read. That's the speedo. That you also get the fuel tank. You will also get your temperature readouts, your timing, etc. The telltale lights, like you can see on the side, they're flashing. You have traction control, you have ABS. And using the controls on the switch gear, here you can make different changes. So you get again the same kind of equipment that you get on the more expensive BMW. So you have this menu switch, you also have this jog dial here. So using this simple roll and click, you can cycle through the menus. So what you see is the urban mode here. So urban mode essentially gives you a very minimalist layout. Going back to the menus, the My Vehicle, again like the more expensive BMWs, it gives you all the information about the vehicle right here, including any service messages, the coolant temperature, the oil temperature, service required because of course this is a brand new vehicle, then distance to empty, battery voltage, all of that is right here. You can cycle between different screens here as well. This is the onboard computer. It will give you all the information about the journey. There's the trip computer too. This is the service screen, the messages that the TFT wants to show you about your vehicle, and this is the service due message. So this was the My Vehicle part of the menu. You also have navigation. So essentially if you were to pair this TFT with your phone, that will give you the navigation as well. So if you use the BMW Motorrad Connected app, you can set your destination and all that data will be pushed here, right here. It will give you turn-by-turn navigation. It will still not show you the map, but it will give you turn-by-turn navigation. Then media and telephone, basically if you go to settings, you will see a connections menu. So through this, you can connect your mobile device. You can also connect the rider and the passenger helmet, and then you can have you can control the music, you can control the telephony once all these devices are connected. System settings essentially allow you to change the date and time. It will also allow you to choose the kind of units that you want, kilometer per hour, miles per hour, what kind of fuel status do you want it to show. The real-time fuel consumption data will either be shown in liters per 100 kilometers or in miles per gallon US, kilometers per liter. I think kilometers per liter works for me, so I'm going to leave it at that. And temperature you can either choose in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Going back, you can also change the language if you want. Display will allow you to change the brightness, and will also allow you to add or remove things that you would want to be shown here on this particular screen. On this particular part of the screen, you can choose what all you want it to show. So essentially, once you are in the main menu or on the main screen, pushing the top section of the menu will essentially make those changes here. So you can, using the previous menu that I had just shown you, you can choose what all data you want over here. If you don't want so much data here, you can just remove all these things from the list. It's as simple as that. So it's all customizable, and that is what I love about this TFT. Going back into the settings, Here's your information. So this essentially tells you the licenses. This is about the software. I don't think you can read it. I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up. And then it will also tell you the software version. So this is running the latest software version from what I can tell. But the BMW dealers will always give you a call and tell you if there's a new software available, and then you can just get it updated, or it will be updated on its own when you drop the bike in for service. So that's the TFT. And since we spoke about service a couple of times, since I mentioned service a couple of times, so the standard service procedure, 1000 kilometers is the first service, and then there is a 10,000 kilometer service. The interval between every service is essentially 10,000 kilometers. Right, so let's now talk about the design. Let's start with the front, of course. So it's got that nice V-shaped front end. I think it looks quite smart. It looks like nothing else on the road. It also doesn't look like anything from the BMW lineup. You can see the S1000RR back there. You can see the GTL. You can also see their smaller 310s, the G310R in the updated colors, the black and the white blue. I think they also look quite handsome now, but this looks like nothing else from BMW Motorrad's portfolio. The detailing of the headlamps, it's very much, I think, like the detailing that we see on BMW's cars. Yes, you can always argue that these kind of daytime running lights are also on that beautiful machine, the S1000RR, but I think this has more resemblance to BMW's cars than BMW's motorcycles. So the headlamps just went off because I walked away from the motorcycle, and everything's turned off. But I think even without the lights running, it's a very, very handsome looking scooter. It certainly looks big, just the way the GTL looks very big for a motorcycle. This looks very big for a scooter, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want that big, massive scooter, a proper maxi scooter that justifies its form factor or the name, I think this certainly scores big on that. So moving closer, you see the LED blinkers as well. Massive blinkers. They are set quite low, but I'm sure they are going to attract a lot of attention whenever you use them, and that's the intent of those. You can see the triple black written next to the BMW roundel, and that's essentially the color or the color scheme for this scooter. So this is the C400 GT. So the GT variant is the only variant that you can have in India. You also get that GT insignia on the seat. Moving on, you will also see the massive exhaust. That exhaust canister really looks good. And it instantly tells you that this is not one of those commuter scooters. This is big, and powering this is a big engine as well. It's a 350cc liquid cooled single. The reservoir for the coolant is in here. So yeah, service wise, all the panels will have to come off. So it is going to take quite a bit of effort to get this service, but BMW's technicians know their job. In fact, I'm told that a new set of tools was also required for this scooters. So all the BMW dealers in India had to import those tools. Moving on to the rear, you get that massive GT badging at the rear as well. Triple black written here, and that there is the tail light. I think that tail light has some design resemblance to the outgoing S1000RR, and I think it looks quite good. Of course, this is much larger in size, but in terms of the design, in terms of the layout, the detailing, it's very much like the outgoing or the older S1000RR. So you get twin spring suspension at the rear, you get two forks at the front. They're not adjustable, of course. And in terms of the brakes, you get 265mm discs, two up front and one at the rear. The engine, like I said, is a 350cc single. It puts out 34 PS of power and 35 Newton meters of torque. Continuing on the design, that big windscreen that you see, again, that's for the GT. This is the touring edition, of course, so that's why you get that massive touring screen, but it's not adjustable. But if you want something shorter, if you're not really going to go riding on the highway with this scooter, you just want to use this as your premium urban runabout, you want a shorter screen, you can do that. In fact, there's a huge list of accessories that you can put on this motorcycle. For example, you can also have a top box at the rear if you want. If you want more cargo space, you can have a top box. You'll have to get rid of these grab handles. In place of that, you will get a top box stay and you can have a top box. Similarly, you can have riding gear that is tailor-made for this scooter. There are sneakers, there are riding boots, there are riding jackets, everything that you would want for a scooter of this order, you can have that. There is a massive list of accessories and clothing that's available with it. Now this is a big scooter, of course, and with it comes a lot of weight. This is 214 kilos. But I'm sure, like most BMW vehicles, once you're on the go, you're not really going to feel it. It's a nice big wheelbase that you see on the scooter. So riding it is not going to be a problem. Highway stability is not going to be a problem. That GT name is not just a gimmick. It's not just a moniker. It is something that will stay true to its name. This is a big scooter that will be stable at highway speeds as well. Talking of speeds, BMW says that this can reach top speeds of about 138 to 139 kilometers an hour. Which I think is pretty good for a vehicle like this, a maxi scooter. That's a lot of speed. I mean, on Indian highways, I think 120, 130 is the maximum that you can really enjoy on these highways. And with a vehicle like this, with laid back cruising as its intent, I think you will have a lot of fun with this kind of a scooter. Now the side profile, I think, is the prettiest angle for the C400 GT, but I think no matter where you look at it from, it looks quite handsome, it looks quite unique, it looks exclusive, and that's the whole idea of this scooter. So yes, there are many questions. Who would buy a scooter at that kind of price? So I think the answer is simple. I think their promotional video sort of quickly summed up what this scooter is all about. You know how the big MDs and the CEOs, they might just dress up in casual clothes for maybe their Friday meetings or a casual Friday. And probably that day they wouldn't want to take a car, they wouldn't want to be driven around, but at the same time they probably wouldn't want a motorcycle, wouldn't want to work the clutch in traffic. They just want a quick twist and go, but something that matches their status, something that matches their taste, looks big, looks exclusive. And I think for those kind of people, the C400 GT would actually make a lot of sense. That's my point of view. So if you want that exclusivity, well, that's the price you've got to pay. So we are filming this in October. Like I said, the scooter is already here, but the deliveries are going to begin in December. So that's a very short period of time if you really want to take a glimpse or get a glimpse of the scooter. This right now is at the Bavaria dealership in Pune. So if you're anywhere around Pune and you want to see the scooter, this is where you want to come. Definitely do take a look at it. I'm sure you're not going to see a lot of these on the road because BMW's only imported about 24 scooters right now, and depending on what the response is like, they may import more scooters, or they might just keep this to be that exclusive 24 unit lot. So like I said, it's going to be a very exclusive scooter. You may or may not see it on the road, so definitely do pay a visit to this particular showroom, get a look at it, take a listen as well. And I think, yeah, this scooter is something that they should have had on a test ride as well, because I really want to ride that scooter. I love maxi scooters, but unfortunately, like I said, it's an exclusive scooter. There's no test ride available. In fact, most of these scooters out of these 24 are already spoken for. So for those of you who are having doubts about the pricing, well, there are many people who have been waiting for this scooter and they've already put money down for it. So BMW is not delivering them before the festive season. Like I said, they want people to come take a look. There are a lot of BMW riders out there who have probably never even considered a maxi scooter. So BMW wants those riders, wants their community to come to the showrooms, take a look at the scooter, and maybe make a purchase as well. So those deliveries will happen in December. If you have any further questions about this scooter, about anything about this scooter really, put them in the comment section below. Like I said, there is going to be no test ride. I hope BMW India sends me a test bike at least. If that happens, there will be a review that will be out on Overdrive as well. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. But anything else that I can answer for you, I will do that. So put your questions in the comments below. I'll join the discussion and try to answer most of them. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said right at the beginning, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've stayed this long, please hit that like button as well. Watching those numbers grow keeps us going. Thank you.